Hello and welcome. This is Mark Anastasi, and today's webinar is titled How to Make 10 Times More Money This Year Than You Ever Have Done Before. And this is a special training program, a special training presentation for our coaching clients in our new Laptop Millionaire coaching program titled Make $100,000 in the next 12 months or your money back. So in this presentation, I'm going to be sharing with you specifically what is the mindset and the strategy that you need to adopt in order to make 10 times, even 20 times, 100 times more money than you have ever done before. I'm the author of the New York Times bestseller, The Laptop Millionaire, and you're about to discover in this presentation how to make 10 times more money this year than you ever have before, the business models that really make you money, the elegant business formula, also known as how to go from 0 to a million in 12 months or less, 7 reasons why you're not rich yet, and rich thinking versus poor thinking, the mindset of success, the mindset of millionaires. This is what I had to learn over a decade ago, about 12 years ago, in order to go from living in this abandoned building in London, in Earl's Court in London, living as a homeless person essentially for 5 months in London, to having an incredible life where I get to travel around the world, I get to share with people, I get to experience things that would have never been possible for me even just a few years ago. And this is me enjoying my holidays in the Maldives, in the island of Irufushi, or in Santorini in the Greek islands, or in Corfu, sailing in Corfu in the Adriatic Sea, or just being able to do whatever I want to do, including writing books or running seminars and sharing with people from the stage. How to make 10 times more money this year than you ever have before. The first lesson, the first thing you need to understand is that money is nothing but the measure of the value you create for other people. When I first heard this sentence, it hit me squarely between the eyes, because I've been told by my father that rich people are greedy, evil, exploitative. We're good people, that is why we have no money. I was told by my father that money was something that rich people had and that you needed to take it from them if you wanted to have more in your life. And at this seminar that I attended about 12 years ago, 13 years ago now, I heard this sentence: money is nothing but the measure of the value you create for other people. And they explained that the money in your bank account simply represents how much value you've been consistently delivering to other people. Are you solving problems for people? Well, guess what? If you're solving problems and giving people solutions and giving them value, giving them what they want to make their lives better, more value flows back to you, more money flows back to you. So if you're not happy with how much money you have, chances are you're not adding enough value. And that was a big aha moment. I realized that I kept complaining to my employer when I was working as a security guard or in telesales later on. I kept complaining that I wasn't earning enough money, but I wasn't delivering really much value to my employer either. You can have everything in life you want, says Zig Ziglar, if you will only help enough other people get what they want. You want a better life? Well, start thinking about how can you help other people get a better life. That's right. In order for you to make money, you've got to be selfless. Not selfish, selfless. You've got to think about what people need. What problems do people have? How can you combine capital and employees and staff and systems and a product or a service, put it all together with marketing, and go out there and deliver that to people so that they can get a better life? Second aspect to this equation is that money equals value, yes, but money equals value times leverage. How can you leverage the internet, or a mailing list, or joint ventures, or technology, outsources, affiliates, pay-per-click advertising, networks, publishing companies, etc., to deliver more value to more people faster? Now, to my mailing list of 100,000 subscribers, I can write up an email. Let's say it takes me 5 minutes, click send, and now I'm communicating to 100,000 people at the touch of a button. That represents tremendous leverage. And this is one of the reasons why my income has gone up 114 times over, because I don't just add more value than I used to when I was employed, but I also use massively more leverage than before. And also, A third part of this equation is money equals value times leverage times sales skill, your ability to sell. Do you know how to sell? Do you know how to use sales pages? How to write? How to be a good copywriter? Do you know how to sell in person from the stage? Do you know how to sell through newsletters or catalogs, magazines, ads? That is how you can leverage different platforms in order to sell, even when you're not there yourself. I could be sleeping, and my sales pages will be selling for me even while I'm sleeping. Finally, to earn 10 times more money, you must add 100 times more value. And please write this down. You need to figure out how you can deliver 100 times more value to a specific marketplace or to multiple marketplaces. As Brian Tracy puts it in The Law of Income, he says the law of income is that you get paid in direct proportion to the amount of value you deliver according to your marketplace. Your financial success is directly related to the size of the problem you solve for other people. If you solve big problems for people, you'll make big money. And conversely, if you solve only small problems for people, you won't make that much money. So how do you add 100 times more value? If you want to make more money, don't ask yourself, how can I make more money? Everybody else is asking themselves that question, and it doesn't work, because the focus of the question, how can I make more money, is yourself, your selfish needs. If you're thinking about how can I add 100 times more value to people, how can I solve problems for people, you need to start asking yourself what people want, what problems do people have, what solutions are people willing to spend money on. This is what I did 12 years ago. I walked back from a seminar that I attended in London. With my last 300 pounds, I attended a seminar at the Ibis Hotel. It was the Paragon Hotel at the end of Old Brompton Road in London. And I came back and I sat down in this abandoned building on the floor, on the concrete, filthy floor, and I started brainstorming. I started writing down in my journal. I just had a pen and my journal, and a suitcase of clothes, and that was all I had. And I started brainstorming, what do people buy? What do people spend money on? What problems do people have? And I started writing down. People buy toilet paper. People buy food. People buy rent. They pay for rent. They buy houses. They buy holidays as well, cars. They need transport. What else? What problems do people have? And I kept brainstorming what people needed. So I started thinking about them rather than thinking about myself and my selfish needs. And that was the starting point for me to break free from my past conditioning from school and from my parents, from my environment growing up in Greece in the 1980s and the 1990s, and figuring out a better way to generate wealth, which is to look at what people want and try and figure out how can I deliver value to them, how can I deliver great solutions to them. And then once you figure out what people want, choose one target market and then create a solution for them. It could be an ebook, it could be a service, it could be a product, it could be food, it could be a restaurant, it could be software, a tool of some sort, an app. If you can't create it yourself, source it from somewhere, license it from somewhere. Get into a joint venture agreement with people who have that solution. And then leverage the internet, technology, automation, systems, affiliates, advertising, social media, search engine, newsletters, capital, Amazon, iTunes, eBay, networks, employees, outsourcers, etc., to deliver those solutions to more people. That is how you can make 10 times, 20 times, 100 times more money, by delivering 100 or even 1,000 times more value. And a big secret here to this is that if you want truly to make 10 times more money, you need to connect with your compassion and your empathy. Just close your eyes and connect for a second. Just see it for a second, feel it for a second, all the pain that people are suffering out there because they're lonely, they can't get into a relationship, they can't meet someone. Or they're meeting guys, but those guys are not committing or marrying them, for example. Or you're a guy and you've been single for a very long time. Or your wife is on your case because you haven't become a success yet, or you're not making enough money to put food on the table. Or the pain of suffering from diabetes, or cancer even, or eczema, or the pain of having bad breath, or becoming bald, or being overweight. You know, just if you were to just connect for a second with the pain that people are experiencing right now, I think the natural instincts next would be to feel a desire to help people, desire to help people solve their problems and feel better about themselves, feel better about their lives, help them transform their lives. And how good you are at helping people transform their lives or add value to their lives will determine to a large extent how large you grow your business, how much income you earn. So connect with your compassion and your empathy, your desire to help people, and you will make more money. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but this is how you can grow your business if you're a good person. Discover your life purpose. What legacy do you want to leave behind? Who do you want to serve? That is a great key question. People often ask, I start coaching people and they say to me, Mark, I could make money with ebooks or membership sites or with eBay or Amazon or this way or a seminar business of some sort or write a book. And I always say to them, wait, just stop for a second. Answer me this question. Who do you want to serve? Which group of people is it your mission in life to add value to and to serve? Because then once you decide that, then whether you serve them with interviews with experts and a membership site or a seminar or a product or an app or whatever it is, coaching or consulting, it doesn't matter, because you can do all of those things as long as you know who you want to serve. And for me personally, because my parents struggled so much financially, my father was a journalist and he lost his job in 1990 in Greece. I felt very strongly that my mission was about helping people, helping families avoid the fate that we experienced, all the struggle. My father tried 30 different ways to make money, including gambling, by the way. That was his big idea at one point. And they were all just abject failures, unfortunately, because he didn't get coaching, he didn't get a mentor, he didn't even educate himself about business. He thought, well, I'm a journalist, how hard can it be to have a business? And unfortunately, he just didn't have the knowledge or the skills or the mentoring necessary to make a go of it, to make a success of it. And so this is part of my mission in life. And I have other things that I love sharing with people about personal development and about health and spirituality and what have you, but I use those tools to help people have a breakthrough in their financial life. As Dr. John DeMartini says, a mission is the best way to meet the most amount of your values while adding the most amount of value to others. And what did we say that money is? Money is nothing but the measure of the value you create for other people. So if you can create a business where you know who you want to serve and it's aligned with your values and with your true life purpose, your mission in life, guess what? You'll be more excited about it. You'll be meeting more of your values, and you'll be adding the most amount of value to others, which means you'll be making the most amount of money in your own life. This is a very important key. If you want to make 10 times more money, make sure that what you're doing is aligned with your values, your beliefs, your desire to serve, and your mission in life. How to add 100 times more value, because this is the key question. You want to make 10 times more money? Great. That everybody does, but you need to think counterintuitively. You need to think about them. Nobody's going to give you a penny. Nobody's going to give you $1 just because you want to make more money or because you want that dollar. They will give you that dollar. They will give you more money because of what you're delivering to them, because of the problems they have and the solution you're providing to them. So it has to start with who do you want to serve and what problem do you want to solve for people. So, and how can you add 100 times more value to people? Also, learn to sell. If you want to make more money, you need to understand marketing and sales. You may think, a lot of people have this belief that, oh, I don't want to learn to sell and it's tacky and it's beneath me. I don't like when salespeople contact me, etc., etc. Well, guess what? Until a sale is made, you have no real chance or opportunity to transform people's lives. The transformation starts with the sell. When you get a client on board, that means learning to sell. How can you add value if you don't have clients? How can you have clients if you don't know how to acquire clients, which means how to sell? How can you acquire clients if you don't know how to sell yourself? So this is a very important skill. Sales and marketing are extremely important skills if you want to add 100 times more value and therefore make 10 times more money. And I'll hear people say, oh, but maybe I'll just give my value for free and I'll do everything for free and I'll add value this way. Great. But because you put a price of 0 to what you're doing, that is often, almost in every case, the value your target market will put on your information and your price. They'll put a value of 0. They've paid 0. They've got no skin in the game. Therefore, they're not going to follow through and have an impact in their life and have transformation in their life because they don't value the information you've given them. Have you ever given free advice to somebody? Do you think they've really followed it? No, because they put a value of 0 to it. So learn to sell, learn to value yourself, learn to value your products, your services, your information, and learn to sell. You want to make 10 times more money? Start by deciding, what is my target market? What group of people do I want to serve? And who do I want to serve? Which problem do I want to solve for people? Do I want to help them with beautiful furniture? Do I want them with to help them with dating advice or being in a relationship or improving their relationship? Do I want to help them improve their energy levels or sleep better or regrow their hair naturally or overcome diabetes or psoriasis or chronic fatigue or Crohn's disease, irritable bowel syndrome? Do I want to help people with starting a business where they can run it from anywhere and they could travel the world and be free from the 9 to 5? What is it that inspires you specifically? What group of people do you want to help? What problem do you want to solve for people? That's how you're going to make 100 times more value and therefore 10 times more money. And then the next step is you need your $1 million marketing hook. That sentence that just grabs people's attention, grab people from your target market and tell them exactly who it's for, exactly what it does, and it has a big promise, what's in it for them. People are so distracted nowadays with all the messages that are being thrown at them, whether it's through the ads on TV or the ads on billboards or through on the internet or the WhatsApp messages, text messages, Skype messages, FaceTime messages, email messages, phone calls, you name it. They're so distracted. Unless you have a sentence that just grabs their attention, boom, just like that in a second, like lean in 15, or how to lose 60 pounds in 60 days, or get the glow, or how to get 100,000 Twitter followers in 30 days, or how to make your first $350 online in the next 14 days, guaranteed. Just a sentence that just really encapsulates in just a few words, a few short words, precisely and exactly who it's for, what it does, and what's in it for them. A $1 million marketing hook. Literally, having a $1 million marketing hook is the difference between making no money or just a few sales and making $100,000, $200,000, even $1 million or $4 million a year. That sentence that grabs people's attention. A note on being an employee versus being an entrepreneur, since we're talking about adding more value and making 10 times more money. As an employee, you serve one employer, but as an entrepreneur, you can serve millions of people. You can serve 100,000 clients a year, for example, 200,000, 400,000 clients a year. As an employee, you're being leveraged. Your time is being leveraged. Your knowledge is being leveraged. Maybe your skills are being leveraged. Or as a worker, your labor, your physical labor is being leveraged. And you get to use very little leverage as an employee, very little leverage. You're actually being leveraged. As an entrepreneur, you can use infinite amounts of leverage. This is why you can earn infinitely more as an entrepreneur than as an employee. For sure, you can use way more leverage and you can deliver infinitely more value. For example, as an employee, you have 3 or 4 ways to earn some extra money. You could ask for a raise. Okay, maybe you'll get 5 or 6%, maybe 10%. If you're lucky, in a good economy, maybe after a few years, after 5, 6 years, you'll get a 20% raise. Maybe. You could maybe quit your job and find a better paying job. In today's economy, forget about it. On the contrary, about 50% of the jobs that are in existence today are going to be obsolete in the next 20 years, according to a University of Oxford study. Why? Because of outsourcing, because of automation, because of artificial intelligence software, because of software, automation software, because of the internet, because of because of the economy, this global financial crisis, which, by the way, is only starting now, this year. 2007, 2008 was just a bit of a hiccup compared to what's about to happen with the financial in the financial system. Unfortunately, literally tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of jobs are going to disappear. But anyway, back to our story here. As an employee, you could ask for a raise, okay, unlikely. Maybe get a better paying job, even more unlikely. You could get a second job, okay. For example, we just hired a teacher. We have two young girls, and we've hired a teacher as a cleaner. We have a teacher who's a nanny, and now we've hired a second teacher where we live, who's our cleaner. And she teaches during the day at a school, at a public school, and to make ends meet, she needs to, at 2 p.m., she needs to go house to house to clean houses. Why? Because people bought the lie. People bought the lie that we've been told ever since we were kids, that go to school, get a good education, get a job, and you'll be set for life. Well, I hope you understand that that stopped working probably in the 1980s, in the early 1980s, late 70s. Late 70s was the peak of workers' wages in the US and in Europe, many parts in Europe anyway, in the Western world. There's been a steady decline in people's real income, in workers' real income, in the middle classes' real income since 1976. You'll notice that before, the husband could work, for example, and they could comfortably afford a middle-class lifestyle. Now, the father and the mother work, and they still barely make ends meet, and they get massive amounts of debt. They need the debt just to make ends meet because both jobs don't work. Why? Because as countries become more and more bankrupt, they've got to increase the taxes, they've got to offer less in services, they increase the taxes, and they keep printing more money, which means that every dollar or euro or pound that you have, or yen, is worth less and less money. So the inflation is eating away at your income, the taxes are eating away at your income has stagnated for decades, and this is why the middle classes are disappearing. The middle classes now are finding themselves being broke, being poor, being in debt, having to have 2 jobs each, the father and the mother, 4 jobs, just to make ends meet. It doesn't work anymore. It's like Anthony Robbins puts it in his seminars. He says that people used to think that if I'm good at my job, I'll have a good income, I'll have a good life. That stopped working a long time ago. If you are good now, if you're good at your job, you're going to have a crappy life, a shitty income. If you are excellent, if you are truly excellent at what you do, you'll have an okay, good life. You need to be exceptional in order to have a really decent life, a great life. You need to be exceptional, which means not just adding twice as much value, 5 times as much value, 10 times as much value as you did before, but truly adding 100 times more value, 200, 300, 1,000 times more value. That is the mindset you need to have. As an entrepreneur, you literally have thousands of ways to deliver more value and increase your income. The law of prosperity states you need to produce more than you consume. Jean-Baptiste Say was a French economist from the 1700s, I believe. And Say's law, according to Say's law, if you want to consume, you must first produce. You need to become a producer. You want to make more money? You need to become a producer. Our entire financial system, says Simon Black of the Sovereign Man newsletter, our entire financial system is based on debt and consumption. You always hear, for example, how the American consumer drives the US economy. You don't ever hear anyone say that the American manufacturer, the American capitalist, the American producer drives the US economy. It's all about consumption, not production. In other words, consumption, to consume, to destroy, to burn up. That's what to consume means, to burn up, to consume, to destroy. Not production. It's all about consumption and destruction, not production. This constitutes a willful violation of the universal law of prosperity. And is it any surprise that 8 years ago, Barack Obama got into office. The financial crisis apparently had just started. The U.S. economy was in $10 trillion in debt. $10 trillion. Okay, and it took hundreds of years for the first $1 trillion of debt to accumulate in the U.S. And then only a couple of decades for the first $10 trillion, maybe 3 decades, 30 years to get the first 10 trillion. Now, just in the last 8 years, now write this down. This is quite significant. In the last 10 years, in the last 8 years, the U.S. economy is in such a downfall. The U.S. government is so not making ends meet that the debt of the U.S. has gone from 10 trillion to 18 trillion. Shortly, very soon, it's going to be 20 trillion. And even some people say that the outstanding money owed on Social Security and pensions amounts to about 200 trillion in unfunded liabilities that the U.S. government has. $200 trillion. This constitutes a willful violation of the universal law of prosperity. It's no longer about producing or about growing the economy, it's about debt. And guess what? When these musical chairs kind of arrangement ends, a lot of people are going to realize that their money is worth nothing, practically. The financial system is all an illusion, a Ponzi scheme. But the point is this: if you want to consume, you must first produce. You need to become a producer. We've been conditioned to be consumers because that's what serves the interests of the media with advertising. That's what serves the interests of big corporations that control the media. But if you truly want to become wealthy and you want to overcome debts and have a great life, you need to become a producer, not a consumer, a producer. Produce value, produce solutions, produce food, produce products, produce services, and save money. For the love of God, spend less than you earn, save your capital so you can invest in production, invest in becoming more of a producer, producing more solutions, products, etc. So become a producer and spend less than you earn and invest the difference. Here's how I started earning 100 times, how I started adding 100 times more value, even 1,000 times more value, and I took my income from about 700 or 800 pounds a month to over 100,000 pounds a month by following these very simple principles. In my job, when I got out of school, I worked as a security guard for 2 years. I was earning £3.25 an hour, like $5 an hour. Then I worked in telesales for 14 months, and I was earning about £800 a month because I was supposed to make sales to earn commission. I made one sale in 14 months, and I got fired from that job. I basically earned just maybe a tiny little bit more than I was as a security guard. And of course, as a security guard or in telesales, I was only adding a little bit of value to one employee. Okay, how much value? Maybe £3 or £4 an hour worth of value, maybe, and even that's dubious. Maybe I was adding £1 or even £0 in value to my employer. And I remember I kept thinking to myself, how can I work less in my job and ask for more money from my employer? How can I do less for them and take more from them, because they obviously have the money? That was my thinking at the time. How could I even steal toilet paper and office supplies from the places where I worked, even steal food from the supermarkets that I was guarding, and so that I could improve my life, because they have the money. It's not fair, and I don't have it, so I'm justified in acting that way. Then I went to the seminar. The guy sitting next to me at the seminar, his name was Francis, and he became my laptop millionaire mentor. And he told me that he was making money from selling an ebook on the internet. And to cut a long story short, I called him up. I asked him for his help. He told me the 4 steps of how to choose a topic, choose a target market, find out what they want, create a solution for them, for example, an ebook with a solution in it, and create a website that sells that solution, that ebook, to that target market, and then drive traffic to the website that sells that solution to that target market. 4 steps, 4 simple steps. Even I could understand it. And I didn't know anything about making money. All I knew was that to send out a CV and get a job interview and get a job. If you're lucky, if you lie enough during the job interview, you can get a job. That's all I knew about making money. That and Herbalife, the Herbalife MLM opportunity, and that some people were buying and doing up and selling houses in London. That was the extent of my knowledge about making money. Well, anyway, I wrote this ebook, and I started leveraging my mentor's knowledge, health knowledge, interviews with people who'd healed themselves, ClickBank, affiliates, technology, the internet, a web designer, copywriting, pay-per-click advertising, Google pay-per-click advertising. And suddenly, 28 days after I started this process, I started making $10,000 a month in passive income, in fact, which freed up my time to start more businesses. I started a seminar company. I wrote 30 more ebooks. I started earning $400,000 a year in passive income thanks to those ebooks. I started running seminars. I've had 16,000 people come to our Inspired Seminars, our Inspired Seminar company. And so I went from serving one customer to now I have about 40,000 customers around the world. And I've done this from home. Apart from flying 4, 5, 6 times a year to a place to do a seminar, so maybe it's being somewhere about 18 days out of the year, and earning a great income by doing that. So for doing about 18 days of seminars a year, we're doing over 7 figures a year in income generated, and that's just from the seminar business. Of course, all this has freed me up to invest in more businesses, to grow more businesses, to deliver more value, create more books, more products. We're in the process of launching 9,000 new products. And in fact, in this coaching program, the Laptop Millionaire, How to Make $100,000 in the Next 12 Months, or Your Money Back coaching program, I'm going to be teaching you how to take one book and create 100 to 400 income streams from a single how-to book, a single personal development book or health book, or how to achieve an outcome kind of book, a how-to guide kind of thing. You can turn that into 100 to 400 different income streams with this strategy that we're following in my publishing business now. I didn't just start my seminar company. I also started traveling around the world, speaking at other people's seminars, so I could add value to their clients. And also, I started creating products, even if I didn't already know a lot about that topic initially. Here's what I did. I used the reporter method. I interviewed 10 people that made money thanks to YouTube. And I basically found people that were making money on YouTube. I contacted them. I said, I'm creating a course about YouTube marketing. Is it okay if I interview you for 20 minutes? And I record those interviews online through YouTube, through Skype. I put it into a members area. I put those MP3s into a members area. I created a few videos explaining what I learned. I created a PDF document, a Word document that I PDF'd with the best insights from those interviews so people could have a quick start guide. I added a few bonuses in that members area. I threw in a coaching session and a 3-day seminar. So they would get a 3-day seminar, a Skype coaching session with me, and the course with the interviews with experts and the PDF and the videos. And all of that, I charged $2,500. I started selling it. I made 100 sales in about 6 weeks. So it took me 4 weeks to create the package, or the course rather, and then another 6 weeks to sell it, and I made $250,000 by selling this information that I recorded from experts. The next year, I interviewed 12 people who were making money thanks to Facebook, and I launched it as a $27 ebook with a few upsells on the back end. The ebook was the front end, the upsells like a coaching program, etc., was the back end, and I got 5,000 new customers in 30 days through this ClickBank product launch, and that was $400,000 in sales in just 30 days. And of course, for that, I'd leveraged about 400 affiliates who were promoting it during those 30 days. And then I did a New York Times bestseller campaign. I wanted to get the best information from all of our seminars, a decade of seminars, all the strategies that had worked the best for our clients, because not all the strategies work equally for all the clients, but I wanted to take the best success stories, the best strategies, and put it into an easy to consume, easy to read, easy to absorb format, a book that people from around the world could read. And they didn't need to fly to London for a seminar. They didn't need to fly to wherever I was holding that seminar. They could be reading it at any time, anywhere around the world. These books could be translated, and by following a specific formula called the New York Times bestseller campaign formula, if you will. I paid a person $30,000 for him to be my mentor in this specific field. I paid a mentor in the seminar business. I paid this lady £12,000 for her to coach me and mentor me about the seminar business, on how to run $1 million a year seminar company, international seminar company. And so, you know, if you want to have amazing results fast, you could spend 5, 6, 10, 12, 15 years to try and reinvent the wheel and figure out things the hard way. Or you can do things the smart way and just pay somebody to show you the shortcut, to show you exactly what works. And that's what I've done over and over again with ebooks, with my publishing company, with my seminar company, with getting the book on the New York Times bestseller and doing this campaign. For example, Brendan Burchard followed this strategy and he made $2 million. He got his book on the New York Times bestseller list, the Messenger, the Millionaire Messenger, I think was his book. And then he did on the back end $2 million in sales in 12 months. Robert G. Allen published the book The Challenge in 1987. He said, show me any unemployment line in America and I'll pull out 3 people from that line and I'll show them how to make $5,000 in 90 days. And basically, I'm now 30 years later, I'm publishing kind of the follow-up to that book. And it's going to be the next book in the Laptop Millionaire series of books, where it's not the $5,000 challenge, it's the $100,000 challenge. I'm saying, give me anyone around the world, and I will show them how to make $100,000 in 12 months, thanks to what I'll teach them. And this is what our program right now, this Laptop Millionaire $100,000 in 12 months or your money back, is all about, this specific program. And to cut a long story short here, I did this New York Times bestseller campaign. I leveraged the media. I followed this formula, and I did 1.7 million in 12 weeks on the back end. Robert G. Allen in 1987 published The Challenge, and he got on the back end of that book was the front end, on the back of that book and the subsequent books about real estate, he got 20,000 customers to pay him $5,000 each. That's $100 million in sales. And this is 1980s, 1990s kind of money, right? Or even the 2000s. This is a lot of money. 20,000 customers to pay $5,000 to attend his real estate boot camp. He had his front-end offer, which was the book, in order to build his audience, and then he had his back-end offer, his high-end offer, which was his real estate boot camp. I hope you're understanding how that system works. Why should you sell information products? In view of what I've been sharing, in line with what I've been sharing today. When you're selling information products, you can add way more value. For starters, you're selling products rather than your time. You can generate multiple streams of passive income. Like I said, one book, you can turn that into 100, even 400 income streams. You can sell it on 100 different platforms. You can sell it as an ebook, a book, a CD course, a video course, an audio book. You can sell it on 100 different places. You can sell it in multiple languages. You can sell it through Groupon. You can sell it through 200 other deal-of-the-day sites like Groupon. Literally, one book can become hundreds of passive income streams for you. You can sell, by selling products, you're freeing up your time. So now you can set up new businesses. You can solve more problems. You can add more value to more people. But if you're selling your time, because your time is finite, well, guess what? You're a slave. We've been trained from a young age to be slaves. Why? Because we've been trained to sell our time and not use leverage and not sell products. And this is why people are stuck in the rat race, because they have a mindset that says they were sold on the lie, essentially, that get a good education to get a good job and you'll be set for life. And now they're realizing that that was a lie sold to the poor and to the middle class. Because I can assure you that the ruling class don't think like that at all. They know about adding value, they know about leverage, they know about financial leverage, about getting investors on board, etc., and creating a real business that leverages people's time, that leverages capital, and leverages raw materials and resources. That is their thinking. And that's often Actually, not often. That's how you need to think. If you're serious about escaping the rat race, creating an outstanding life for yourself, a life of freedom, and you want to travel around the world, this is how you need to be thinking. You can sell, if we're talking about information products, as products that you can sell, they're easy to sell via ClickBank, Amazon, iTunes, Audible, Udemy, Skillshare, and 100 plus online publishing platforms and booksellers. And that's just in the English language. You look at French, German, Spanish, Portuguese, Mandarin, and Tagalog, all these other languages around the world, and now you can access hundreds of millions more people than just in the English language. You access a massive global market, which means you can scale up your business and your income quite rapidly at very often zero cost. It actually doesn't cost you more to sell on 100 online platforms, 100 different websites online, than to sell on just one. Also, you should sell information products because you can transform people's lives while adding massive value to them and making a better income for yourself as well. Your profit margins are typically 90% or more. I've sold something like 30,000 ebooks, maybe 35,000 ebooks, and 100,000 copies of my physical book, and it's costing me, what is it costing me? Maybe a couple $100 a year in hosting. So imagine I've earned probably about $4 million from my publishing, and I don't know. I should be more conservative with that because it's publishing plus the back end. So let's say I've earned about $3 million from my publishing efforts, and it's probably cost me in total less than $2,000, maybe $2,500. Where else can you get these kinds of profit margins other than if you're a bank and you're printing money out of thin air? But that's a whole other story. Your profit margins can be very high. It's 90% with information marketing. It's 45 to 53% with a seminar business if you know what you're doing. 45 to 53% with a seminar business, you have higher costs. You're traveling. You got to pay for venues. You got to pay for the audiovisual. You got to pay for all these different things if you're doing live events. But if you're offering coaching and consulting, your profit margins are 90% or more, maybe even 99%. If you're offering ebooks, 95 to 99% profit margin, or even more. If you're offering physical books, well, that's a little bit different because of the cost of printing, but again, you may not even have those costs yourself because maybe it's the publishing company that's doing it. If you're a self-publisher, well, again, there's a whole other story there, but you'll be selling audio courses, online digital files, video courses online, those are digital files. Online membership sites with the information in there, those are digital files, which means the cost is zero for these three instances. Ebooks, digital files, they're free. Video courses, audio courses, and e-courses are all free. Doesn't cost you anything, apart from just the cost of paying maybe $100 to set up the or less even, to set up the members area where people can access your digital courses. You get to leverage your knowledge, you get to leverage other people's knowledge, experts' knowledge that you interview, experts that you can leverage affiliates that can sell your info products for you while you're sleeping. And even better than all of that is that information products like books and ebooks and courses can establish your brand, can establish what you're about, can establish you as an expert in your specific niche, in a niche that you've carved up for yourself. And they can be your front-end offer for you to make 10 times, 20, 50 times more money with your back-end offer, because the majority of the profit is in the back end. How to make a fortune from interviewing experts. So I mentioned about why you should be selling information products. And you may be thinking right now as you're listening to this, but Mark, I'm not an expert. I'm not a writer. I'm not an author. I've never done this. Okay, but what are you passionate about? What would you love to learn more about? What problem would you love to solve for people? Then go out and solve it for people. Interview experts who have the answers. Just last night I was speaking to a client of mine. She's in her 40s. She's gone through a divorce, but she just made a lot of money with her first business after her divorce. She's doing great. She's got lots going on. She's running a retreat in Bali for single women. She is anyway, great lady. She had a great business before as well. And she was telling me, or we were thinking about this idea of why not start a business to help women in their 40s to basically, what was the expression? Women in their 40s to uh, how to basically attract it all in your 40s, or get started again in life in your 40s, like how to have a great marriage, a great business, a great income if you're starting from scratch in your 40s as a woman. And I basically recommended to her, why don't you interview 6 to 10 or 6 to 12 women who kind of lost it all by the time they were 40 and had to start all over again. And what was the mindset? How did they make that happen? Amy Roberts, who was a massage therapist, she interviewed marketing experts and massage therapists, successful massage therapists. She put that information into an ebook, and she started making $14,000 a month by selling that information to other massage therapists. Dwayne Kerr in London, a personal friend of mine, started attending my seminars many years ago. He started interviewing 15 law of attraction experts, and then interviewed one new expert a month for his membership site. And he was charging $27 a month to access those 15 calls, those 15 MP3s. And when I spoke to him about it, he had already 23 of them. So I guess he was 8 months into it. And he was making $15,000 a month with his 500 members who were paying monthly to access the latest new interviews and to access the preceding 2015 or 23 preceding interviews as well. Ryan Dice, who I believe is now making $18 million a year, he started out paying fitness experts and forex trading experts every month for them to create content for Ryan Dice's respective membership sites. Started making millions from that content. Many information marketers made a fortune from interviewing real estate experts. Matt Basic, who used to work for Robert Kiyosaki, made his first $1 million by interviewing people and creating products this way. He built a mailing list by giving away like one interview for free, for example, with an expert, and then he went and got the rest of the content from more experts, and that's how he started his business, also making millions of dollars a year with his information marketing business. David D'Angelo has a CD of the Month club where he interviews a new dating advice expert, a dating advice for men expert every month. His business does over $10 million a year, teaching men how to ask for dates from women, how to get a date. And a lot of it started from attending seminars and interviewing experts. Randy Sharak partnered with an information marketer, an old school direct mail expert, direct marketing expert, by the name of this guy escapes me, but Randy Sharak went out, interviewed the top eBay power sellers. He interviewed the top Texas Hold'em poker players. He interviewed other people like that and created CD home study courses with those interviews. And they started sending out 400,000 direct mail letters a month to promote these courses. And they started making over $1 million a month by selling these CD home study courses that were simply Skype calls, interviews made through Skype. You could interview 10 people who make 6 figures a year from drop shipping, 10 Amazon power sellers, 10 Udemy power sellers, 10 ebook millionaires, 10 women who basically overcame difficulties and started their life again in their 40s and got it all back. 10 6-figure-a-year super affiliates, 10 YouTube marketers, 10 self-made millionaire women, 10 real estate experts, 10 real estate apartment block experts, 10 apartment block real estate experts, or 10 tax lien experts, 10 people who lost 60 pounds or more, 10 successful work-from-home moms, 10 people who earn 6 figures a year while traveling the world. You get the idea. And how would you do it? You can find experts by going on Amazon, ClickBank, eZine articles, technorazzi.com, rtir.com, Facebook fan pages, Google, even simply Google your topic plus the word expert, like weight loss expert, to make a list of possible authors and experts that you can interview to create that content. And of course, the artistry of it, the finer point of it, is what to say to them in order to make them say yes to to this interview. If you're in the coaching program, of course, I'll give you access to the keys to getting experts to say yes to your interviews. The technology is to record the calls is you need Skype, you need a headset, you need Call Burner if you have a Windows system, or Call Recorder software if you have a Mac system, or freeconferencecall.com. You get a phone number, you dial in, the expert dials in, and at the end, freeconferencecall.com provides you with the MP3 recording. Now, and these are great ways, by the way, these are great ways to produce more content, produce more products, therefore free up your time, deliver 100 times more value because you're delivering products, not just selling your time, which is finite. If you're selling your time, you can only earn a limited amount of income. Even if you're a high-paid consultant, even if you're a doctor, even if you're a coach of some sort, even if whatever, you will only earn a finite amount of money. If you sell products, you can earn an infinite amount of income. And to me, that was the second biggest aha moment after the sentence, money is nothing but the measure of the value you create for other people. Now, continuing in the vein of how can you deliver more value? Well, take the content you've created and add to it, build in way more value. For example, record your ebook. The ebook you produce, record it as an MP3, sell it as an audio course. Now you can sell it for $67, even $97. You're going to at least double the price. Add some Camtasia video tutorials. Now you can sell it for $97, even $197, $297. Add some interviews with some experts. You can sell it now for $497 or even $997. I sold it for $2,500 because I also offered some coaching. Here it says offer some personal coaching. So now you have the ebook, which is a PDF course. You have the MP3 version. You have the video tutorials. You have the interviews with the experts. You have some coaching sessions that you've bundled in together with this offer. Now this is a $1,000 offer, maybe a $2,000 offer, even $2,500, depending on how much coaching you're offering. Record the coaching sessions. You can add those in there as well. Turn your product into a live seminar. The price now for the seminar is $2,000. Record the seminar, then add the DVDs of your seminar together with a coaching session, together with a coaching program, together with the interviews with experts. Sell the whole package for $2,000 to $4,000. Then you can even sell the product license to the whole thing for way more than $5,000, $6,000, even $10,000. Back in 2010, I sold the licenses to about, I think, 15 or 12 or 15 of my DVD home study course, basically the seminars of ours that I'd recorded. I sold those bits of plastic. I sold about 100 DVDs. I sold the licenses to about 100 DVDs that we produced for over $100,000. I just signed the contract. It took me maybe an hour to conclude the whole deal. And I made an extra $100,000 in an hour just from selling the licenses to our DVDs. And of course, I'd made way more money in the meantime selling those DVDs to the attendees and to other clients who around the world who couldn't attend those live seminars. That is how you can start adding more value and multiplying the value, bundling in more value. And of course, add even extra bonuses to all of this to increase the value. You can stack the value and then sell it at a discount. Who wouldn't want to pay $997 for an offer like that? A live seminar and some coaching and a license and licenses and software and the PDF and the video tutorials and the interviews with experts, etc. So with all of that in mind, you need to be thinking about the best way to incorporate this in a business. And now what I'm going to share with you is called the Elegant Business Formula. It's also known as how to go from 0 to $1 million in 12 months or less. And this is something that I learned from Joanna Martin. My good friend Joanna Martin teaches the Elegant Business Formula in her Presentation Profits seminar. Essentially, Joanna speaks at 2 large seminars a year, and she earns about, I think, $1 million to $2 million a year by speaking at 2 live seminars a year. And she explains that if you want to go from zero, if right now you're at zero, and you want to make $1 million by the end of the 12 months, you need to adopt the elegant business formula. And there's reasons why this works, but let me first explain what this elegant business formula entails. It's very simple. On the front end, you give away something for free, a free ebook, a free interview, a free seminar ticket, a free DVD, something for free, a free book even. Then the next step in this formula is you sell something you have some low-end product or products, like perhaps a introductory seminar or a $25 book or a $47 ebook, maybe a CD of some sort, a DVD of some sort, a low-end product that anybody can afford. Anybody with a credit card can just buy it. The next step up is maybe a subscription or some sort of small video home study course. The next step for $997 or even $1,997 is your big pack, which could be like all your DVD home study courses together. Maybe it's a 3-day seminar. Maybe it's all your DVDs and CDs and your courses and your 3-day event bundled up together. Or maybe you have a home study course, and then for a higher price, let's say for $997 they get your DVD home study course, and for $1,997 they get your live 3-day events. And then at the 3-day event, you can also upsell your coaching program or your retreats or your done-for-you offers. Now, why is this important? Why do you need an elegant business formula? You see, the internet allows you to build an audience and gain thousands of new front-end customers. Like you get 1,000 people buying your front-end offers, your front-end CD or book or ebook, etc. Very easily and very cheaply. You can spend little money and get thousands of fans and hundreds of sales of your front-end products quite cheaply. But then where you'll make the real money is on the back end, because the majority of the profit is in the back end. Having many offers on the back end, high-value offers, like done-for-you offers, consulting, coaching, retreats, total immersion environments, like seminars and retreats, that people are willing to pay a lot of money for. Having these high-value offers on the back end increases your ACV. Please write this down. High-end offers increases my ACV, my average customer value. Why is this important? People do business with people they know, like, and trust. Trust, says Dale Carnegie. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. And so when you have this elegant business formula, well, guess what? The people that knew you and liked you enough because you gave them some free value, or they liked your book or your ebook or your CD on the front end, guess what? They now know you. Hopefully they like you and trust you enough to want to buy more from you. This is why the majority of the profit is in the back end, because people do business with people they know, like, and trust. Please write this down. So how can you make 10 times more money this year than you ever have before? You've got to select who do you want to serve, what is your $1 million marketing hook, what is your brand. You've got to build that brand and build your audience. Use the internet, use every strategy in the book, The Laptop Millionaire, to build your audience. That is what the internet is great for, to build a great audience for your brand. People buy from people they know, like, and trust. So how do you do that? It's very simple. Give away great content for free. Share stories from your life. Make them laugh. This is how I did it. Even before having a published book and having the book become a New York Times bestseller and a Wall Street Journal bestseller, I'd made already about $8 or $9, $10 million by that point, because I understood that people buy from people they know, like, and trust. So I started giving away free ebooks and free CDs and free DVDs to my audience, to hopefully have them know me, get to know my stories within the books and those CDs and DVDs, and like me and trust me enough to want to do more business with me. Share stories from your life. Make them laugh. Upload some simple, short YouTube videos of yourself. Do webinars. For example, this webinar I'm doing right now. Contact your subscribers and your fans and your clients regularly. Stay in touch via email, via direct mail letters, even text messages, webinars, videos, live seminars even. Engage your people via Facebook and social media. This increases your email engagement 500% or more. Send letters, send direct mail letters to your clients. People trust experts. So publish a book, become an authority. When you publish a book, you get to leapfrog hundreds or thousands of other people in your niche who don't have a book. So you instantly become a credible expert because you're a published author. People trust experts or published authors much more. Send letters to your clients so that they receive something physical from you in the mail, so that they know it's tangible in their hands. There's a real person that's communicated. There's a part of you that's now in their living room. That letter that comes from you, it's a part of you in their physical address where they live, in their physical home. That's very powerful to connect, to get that connection feeling with people. Interview other experts, blog about your topic, do joint ventures, because a joint venture with somebody who's well regarded or an expert in that market, it's like a third-party endorsement. You're being endorsed to their clients, to their subscribers by that expert. Speak at live seminars. That's the best way. If you speak at live seminars, that skyrockets, that multiplies that connection with your audience, with your target market. It establishes you even more as a credible expert. And then the next level from that is do television. Have your own TV show even, or do a radio and TV and magazine interviews. Daniel Priestley wrote in 2010 the book Become a Key Person of Influence. And he explained that in any industry, you have 90% of the people scrambling to earn just 10% of the money. And the top 10% at the top, they earn 90% of the money. So which one do you want to be? Do you want to be the 90% at the bottom, feeding on just 10% of the money? Or the big fish at the top, that are in the top 10%, who are earning 90% of the money? And he basically says that a great way to join that elite, the top 10% that makes the majority of the money, is very simple. The first step is, well, decide your target market and what you want to be known for, your $1 million marketing hook, and then publish a book. Brendan Burchard said this: the moment I became a New York Times bestselling author, my email open rates doubled, my click-through rate doubled, my sales conversion doubled, my attendance rate, my income skyrocketed, and I found exactly the same thing happen. I was doing very well before, a nice 7-figure-a-year business, working from home or traveling around the world, earning over $1 million a year in my business, and then the book came out and I made $1.7 million in just 12 weeks. So publishing a book is a very powerful strategy to leapfrog ahead of the rest, to skyrocket your income, to establish you as a credible expert, to build your brand. It's a front-end offer that you can build your brand and your business around off. And as Carl Galetti says, this copywriter from the US, Carl Galetti says, if you're just an internet marketer, you're leaving 80% of the money on the table. So supplement your online advertising with offline advertising. For example, do online advertising, do social media, and also do webinars, also do direct mail and live seminars. And you'll earn 3 to 12 times more. And it's true. The years when I didn't run seminars, when I was just basically taking a step back and enjoying life and traveling, or my wife and I took a couple of years out to start a family, after we've been trying for a few years for kids. Basically, I found that when I'm only doing online marketing, I earn a decent 6-figure income. But when I use direct mail and seminars as well, it just instantly increases the income about 5-fold, maybe even 10-fold. And so keep that in mind. If you just want to be an instant marketer, that's fine, but you'll find that it's going to be much more work for less money if you're just an instant marketer. Let's talk about the business models that really make money. Listen, if you can afford the $10 to $20 million necessary for a banking license, then start a bank. Okay, that's a license to print money, or at least it was anyway. Beyond that, what I recommend is information marketing, which is also, or it can be, a license to print money. Build a brand, create a $1 million marketing hook. That's what really makes you money now and fast and sustainably. Use the elegant business formula in your brand, in your information marketing company. This way you'll have multiple streams of passive income from your brand and from publishing content. So you establish your brand, and then you publish a few books and ebooks and courses that are aligned with the values of that brand and that are designed to serve the clients, the target market that you're serving. Selling ebooks, I like that, although of course with selling ebooks, keep in mind that the barriers to entry are very low, so anyone can do this. It's tough to differentiate yourself. You still need a team of writers, editors, one good editor. You need somebody, an assistant to keep posting the books online. You need a team of people to post content to drive traffic to the ebooks. So keep in mind that you need to have a proper publishing business behind this in order to do this, to scale it up to the level that it needs to be to ongoingly afford you some multiple streams of passive income. Building a content-rich blog like naturalnews.com that has 25,000 articles on there, that's a good idea. So you earn money from advertising. Also, e-commerce sites. I like well-branded e-commerce sites that are in it for the long haul. Here are the business models that I feel suck. Multi-level marketing. I'm not a fan. I mean, I tell people join if you have to in order to gain some personal development and some sales skills and build your ability to sell door-to-door, face-to-face, etc. But otherwise, MLM, it's really about building somebody else's business. It's about building that MLM's company's business. And it sounds like a great idea. Look, you won't have to do any work and everybody else will work for you. The reality is you're going to have to work infinitely more than you ever have, and you might still not make any money. Less than 2% of people in MLM make more than, I think, $100 or $200 a month thanks to MLM. So 98% of people lose money every month with MLM. And also, even if you do make some money with MLM, chances are the company is going to either go under, or it's going to change its compensation plan, and you'll find that all these years they've been working your backside off for this MLM company, and you even started maybe making some good money. It was all for naught. And at the end, you don't have a mailing list, you don't have a brand, you don't have clients even. You have nothing. You have nothing. You're building nothing. You're building somebody else's company. That's the reality with MLM companies. Affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing, you really have to work really hard at it and do a lot of SEO. And my recommendation is this, because I've made a lot of money from affiliate marketing, but I made a lot of money because I built a brand, I built an audience, I built a mailing list. Then I recommended products, affiliate products, to people who know me, like me, and trust me. This is why whenever I promoted something, I was always at the top of ClickBank, at the top of JVZoo, at the top of whatever these other sites are, in the top 10 of the affiliate contests. And why? Because I did things the correct way. And you'll notice that most people that teach you about affiliate marketing, what are they doing? They've established that there's a need for people to make money from home. They've created a course, in this case, a course about how to make money from home, about affiliate marketing, and they're teaching. They're building an audience, they're building a mailing list, they've built a brand, and they're selling information products. Hello, maybe that's a clue for you. Maybe that's a clue for you that you should be doing the same thing. Okay? SEO. I know a lot of people made very good money with SEO, and guess what? A couple of years later, they don't even have $300 to their name. I know one guy, he made 1.5 million pounds, him and his brother, 1.5 million pounds in 18 months with 6,000 websites and a team of, I think, 100 outsourcers in the Philippines doing things to keep putting links up to drive traffic and backlinks to these 6,000 websites. And then Google just had an update, and all of their work was it just vanished overnight. And he still had to pay those 100 employees. And so 2 years later, he had about 300 euros to his name. And the point I'm making is that SEO, unless you're doing it correctly, which means giving Google what it wants with a deep, content-filled website that you keep adding to, like a blog that you keep adding great content to a news site of some sort or a review site of some sort where the members are adding content themselves. So there's always fresh content on there. Unless you're doing that and you're in it for the long haul, SEO is not the panacea that is presented to be. Neither is affiliate marketing, neither is MLM. Drop shipping and selling physical products online. I know a lot of people who make really good money from this, but the reality is, and the majority of people, it's very hit or miss. Most people don't make any money from it; they lose money with it. Those that do make money, it's 1 month it's okay, the other month they're back at zero because they don't have a brand, because they're not in control of distribution, and they're not in control of the product, they're not in control of the brand. So in essence, they're just a middleman, which means they have nothing. They're building nothing. They might, after a while, make some good sales by selling 2 or 3 or 5 different products, but guess what? Anybody else can. There's very low barriers to entry, so anybody can do this. If you have your own brand and you built a list, guess what? That relationship with your list, nobody can duplicate that. That brand that you've established, nobody can duplicate it. It's unique to you. So even if the internet fell apart tomorrow, you'd still have that connection with people. This is why I like to have the email addresses, but also the physical addresses, the phone numbers of our clients as well. So drop shipping and selling physical products online, I like it because you're selling products, not your time, but you still need to build a real company around it. Ideally, create your own products, source your own products, license your own products, create your own products, and then use Amazon and eBay and these kinds of sites to sell your branded goods, your branded supplements, your branded fitness equipment, etc., etc. That to me makes much more sense. So we mentioned the pros and cons of selling physical products via Amazon, but I do like e-commerce. I like creating your own e-commerce site and building that brand over time. It can be very profitable. Even a dating site, but more often than not, it's extremely hard unless you have a lot of backing behind you, millions of dollars in funding. It is very hard to sustain a dating site or an e-commerce site, or your own social media platform, without some serious backing behind you. Membership sites. In theory, membership sites are the greatest thing ever. People sign up and they pay you forever. That's the theory behind it. The reality, unfortunately, especially in today's economy, is that people stay on average 2 months on membership sites. If you're really, really good, it might be 3 or 4 months, but then you've got to constantly keep topping this up. You've got to constantly keep bringing more people in, and you've constantly got to create new content, of course, for the membership site, unless you pay somebody to do it. If you have some sort of SEO or social media done for you services business, it's great and can work. My sister has a business like that. She has 102 clients right now. It costs her $5,000 a month, and it makes about $25,000 a month. So a good margin there, but she has to constantly deal with employees. She's got to constantly be on their case. They're constantly asking for more money. They're doing less work. She's got to deal with disgruntled companies and businesses and clients who keep wanting her company to deliver more value at a higher cost, but for less money. They're not willing to pay for it. So you got all that hassle to do. So it can work. You can make a decent income from it. You're adding value to businesses. You're selling your employees' time in essence. But also, it's not a panacea. It's tough to be in that outsourcing field. And again, there isn't that high of a barrier to entry. So anybody can get started in this. That might be a good thing for you, but also understand that the competition it might also be might be increasing, basically, because anybody can do this. Real estate. What about real estate? Is real estate a good business to be in? Well, in times of monetary expansion, when the central banks are just printing more and more money, when the price of real estate keep going up, it's a good time to buy real estate, do it up and sell it, or rent it out. But right now we're at the peak of an 80-year bubble in real estate. According to Harry S. Dent, Harry Dent, the economist and prognosticator, one of the few, if not one of the only economists who predicted the roaring 90s, the roaring 2000s, and predicted the crash ahead for 2007, 2008. Everybody else was saying the opposite. He predicted so many, the crashes so accurately, it's spooky. He wrote a book this year, in fact, called Sale of a Lifetime, about how the prices of assets, commodities, stocks, real estate are going to go back to prices of 1994. So you look at what the price of 1994 were for gold, or for stocks, or for real estate, and chances are that that's where it's heading. So let's say a property that's worth 500,000 pounds or 500,000 euros might only be worth something like 150,000, 140,000, or thereabouts. Gold, he says, will drop down to about $700 per ounce, maybe even $400 an ounce, maybe even $250 an ounce if it really gets bad. But $400 to $700, he says, quite confidently. So is real estate a good deal to get into right now? Maybe not the best right this instant. Ryan Dice says only three things last long term: brands, media, like a mailing list, and retail channels. So either you control the distribution, or you have a brand, a branded product, branded service, a branded company, or you have media for promotion, for advertising, like a mailing list is media, for example. But if you're doing drop shipping or MLM or affiliate marketing, guess what? You don't have a brand, you don't have people that know you, like, and trust you, you don't have media, you don't have distribution, so guess what? You don't actually have a real business, and you have to keep reinventing the wheel. And millions of business opportunity seekers keep having to reinvent the wheel and just go over and over and over again. Day after day, they jump from one opportunity to the next. Finally, if you want to make 10 times more money this year than you ever have before, you need to change your thinking wholesale, entirely. You've got to change who you are as a human being. A person that earns $20,000 a year doesn't have the same mindset as somebody who earns $100,000 or $250,000 a year, or somebody who earns $1 million a year. And somebody who earns $1 million a year does not have the same mindset as somebody who earns $10 or $20 million a year, and on and on. And people who are billionaires think very differently as well. They think at a whole state level, at dealing with politicians and all kinds of things like that, having laws written for them. That's a whole different game. That's a whole different mindset. But the point is this: if you want to be a millionaire or a multimillionaire, or if you simply want to earn $100,000 a year with your own business, well, you need to have a completely different mindset than the mindset you currently have. Most people never make much money because they get stuck in their comfort zone. They have low self-worth, perhaps. They have a certain financial thermostat that stipulates that they need to just get by. As long as they make $25,000 or $50,000 a year and they get by, they're okay. They're afraid to go beyond it. They're afraid to go beyond their comfort zone. They're afraid of failure. They're afraid of success. They're afraid of the unknown. They're afraid of rejection. They're afraid they're not good enough. They're afraid they won't be loved. They're afraid of, what if I succeed? What if I really succeed and then lose it? Oh my God, I wouldn't be able to handle it, and then I'd really be a failure. Or what if I succeed and my friends don't like me anymore, and I'm alone, and it's fearful, and I'm lonely, and it's dangerous because people will be after me. Okay, or they have limiting beliefs about money, like there isn't enough, or I can't afford it. I can't afford to start a business. I can't make money. I don't know how to make money. Or they have neuro-associations, negative neuro-associations to money. Like rich people are evil and greedy, but I'm a good person. And money, if I have lots of money, I'll be stressed, or it's painful in some way. Or it's a source of arguments and fights and divorces, right? So if people have any one of hundreds and hundreds of different limiting beliefs or negative neuro-associations like that, or fears, forget about it. They're not going to make much money. Or if they do make a bit of money, they're going to sabotage themselves. And they're going to lose it, essentially. Okay, the fact is that rich people, people who are millionaires or who will become millionaires very shortly, think very differently to the mindset of poor people and middle-class people. And if you go to mark-anastasi.com, markanastasi.com, /thank you. That's THANKYOU. That's www.mark-anastasi.com /thank you. You can download this free ebook called Rich Thinking versus Poor Thinking with a few of these insights. In the coaching program that I'm currently running, I am basically working with clients one-on-one on their limiting beliefs, and we have a whole questionnaire that people need to fill in, and a manual essentially people fill in to identify the limiting beliefs and the exercises that you need to do to overcome those limiting beliefs. But of course, your limiting beliefs are unique to you, and so you need a unique set of exercises to overcome those limiting beliefs. The point is this: you want to make 10 times more money, you need to add 10 times, you need to add 100 times, or even 1,000 times more value, and you need to adopt the mindset of millionaires. So on that note, I hope that you enjoyed this webinar. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. And if you have any questions, please feel free to send us an email at info@laptopmillionaire.tv or info@prosperitypower.com. And of course, it's important to understand that to earn 10 times more money, you need to not only have an abundance consciousness and think like millionaires, you need to have the habits of millionaires. You need to have million-dollar habits. And these are very, very different to the poor and the middle class. The things that you do on a day-to-day basis. What do you do? Do you have a daily power regimen with your affirmations, your visualizations, your subliminal programming, your exercise, your daily exercise, your daily release work, your daily wealth creation visualizations and affirmations? Do you listen to an MP3, an abundance type of hypnosis recording, an MP3 every day to reprogram your mind? Do you spend less than you earn? Are you financially literate, and do you spend less than you earn and invest the difference? So as you can see, achieving a great amount of wealth requires a lot of changes in your life, in the way that you deal with fear, in the way that you have your habits, in the way that you deal with your self-esteem even, and in your limiting beliefs and your fears as well, of course. Here are 7 reasons why you're not rich yet, and I'll leave you on this. 1, you're not rich yet because you're not delivering enough value or not applying enough leverage. Secondly, you don't have a brand. You don't have a $1 million marketing hook. Thirdly, you're exchanging your time for money rather than selling products. Fourthly, you're not choosing the right business model. Fifthly, you don't know how to sell. You don't know about sales and marketing yet. 6, you have limiting beliefs about money. Your values are not conducive to building wealth. And 7, you don't have a mentor to guide you through the process. You're not modeling success. Every time I wanted to have success in a specific field with a specific business, I had to model success. That's what you need to do as well. Find somebody that's achieved the results you want to achieve and have them show you the way, have them guide you, have them counsel you and coach you about how to do it. If you have any more questions, feel free to get in touch with my team at info@prosperitypower.com. Check out the book, The Laptop Millionaire, and also our subsequent books around prosperity, power, and a few other topics. So look us up on Amazon. Check out The Laptop Millionaire. I'll speak to you soon. Take care.